Hey guys, have you ever felt lost, confused, frustrated, maybe have career anxiety when you think about what career to choose or find something that aligns with your purpose? Well, my name is Gus. I've been in your shoes and have helped over 200 young professionals find their career direction. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing just that. Let's go. I want
Let's
to
do it.
thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are watching this live, let us know where you're watching from, the city and the state where you find yourself. And if you are watching the replay, I want you to just write hashtag replay fam in the description and also let me know where you're watching from. I love to know these things. Guys, welcome to the first episode of the Purpose Talk. I am here today with my biological brother, Chris. Chris, how are you, bro?
Good, brother. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be part of your first episode here. I know this is just the beginning and super excited for this is gonna take us or take you, right? And I'm super excited. So thank you.
I appreciate you, bro. We've maybe in the future we'll get to our story. How we grew up together. I've known him his whole life, but no, I think that I'm really excited about this because in this episode we're going to be talking about something that is a personal for me because I've experienced it, but also maybe somebody watching, maybe asking themselves this question, right? How to find your career direction. And we're
Mhm.
going to get right to it, guys. I think if you're looking for the quick answer, here it is. The quick answer is the three things you have to know to find your career direction is
Mhm.
first, you have to know yourself.
Right.
Second, you have to know the marketplace. You have to know what's out
Mhm.
there. And number three, you have to know your plan. Those are the three things. Whenever I find myself lost and whenever I've worked with many young professionals over the last decade, those are the three things that they have trouble with.
Mhm.
And today, those are the answers. Now we're going to unpack it. So, the first thing that I believe is you have to know yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly, like I think we live in a time where all this is really needed. I feel like back then, a lot of youth or young adults per se, they didn't have guidance or a structure. So I think where you're gonna cover today, find your career direction in 3 steps, super clear. It's not like 100 steps. It's literally 3 steps that you can follow, easy to follow. So you said the first one is know yourself, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can you expound on that? Can you elaborate on that? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know themselves. They don't know themselves um at this time. So like what do you mean by know yourself? Like how does one do that?
So all three are important, right? I've seen people struggle with any one of these three at the same time or just one of these three. Uh, but I found if you're starting from scratch,
Hmm.
the first thing you can control before you go out there, and I think it's the wisest thing to do, is first you have to know yourself. So what do I mean by that? I think is you have to know things like what are your strengths,
Yeah.
which that in itself is a loaded term, which we'll get into. You have to know your strengths, know your skills, which I believe are part of strengths. You have to know your passions. You have to know your values, and even as another point of strength is your weaknesses. Also, you have to acknowledge what you're not good at this
Right.
moment.
So my question is then how does someone know what their strengths are? Like how like some people like how do you determine what strengths are? Is it because you're good at I don't know, so like you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
how do you know what your strengths are? And it yeah, can you just give me descriptions or
Yeah,
describe it
yeah.
a little bit?
So when I talk about strengths, I believe that strengths are you can categorize them in three different ways,
Okay.
right? Think of strength as an umbrella. Underneath strengths, you have what I call natural ability.
Okay.
So the first thing, let's unpack that, right?
All right.
Natural ability. Um, Natural ability are things that you are naturally born with,
Okay.
right? Uh, uh, you have people like LeBron James
All right. Yeah.
who are who's 6'9", 260. He is in his 20 millionth year in the league,
Yeah, word.
and he has natural ability. He's put in work, but you
Right.
have to acknowledge that this guy is 6'9", 260 pounds in his
Right, right.
career, and his passing ability is incredible. He has a natural ability that you cannot teach,
Mm,
especially when you see how easy it comes to him.
mm.
You have people, musicians, singers, right? There's a lot of famous singers. Your favorite singer has a natural ability.
Yeah.
Um, Now you can develop your skills within that, but you have a natural God, I believe is God-given ability
Right.
to do something, right? You and I are musicians.
Mm-hmm.
So we have seen people who have learned for, I know this girl growing up that had played for 15 years by the time she reached high school. I'm like,
Right.
and she had the opportunity to learn how to play piano. Um, but when you asked her to play a song without
Reading the
you
sheet.
reading the sheets, she was lost.
Right.
So
Right.
you can tell she didn't have the natural ability. She developed a really good skill,
Right.
but she didn't have the natural ability. So
Okay. No, that makes sense. I mean, because a lot of people don't know how to, natural talent or natural gifts and stuff like that. But I mean,
right. So what I'll
yeah.
say this. You have natural ability,
Okay.
so you're naturally good at something that
Right.
I believe you have to lean into,
Okay.
right?
Tap into it.
Um, the second type of strength
Mm-hmm.
is I believe is your natural wiring.
Okay. What do you mean
So
by that?
natural wiring, I think it has more to do with your brain.
Okay.
Growing up, I was a person who loved to who was easily distracted, right? Or let's say I'm very extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
I am very social. If you see me, I will say hi to you and we will have a conversation
Right. Right.
like we've always known each other. You and I are the same way. The
Yeah.
rest of our family, they're looking at us like we're weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but you consider what are your natural, I'm sorry, what's your natural wiring? So things like learning style,
Right.
right? Learning style and your how you are, like whether you're an introvert or extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
I think those things you're naturally inclined to one on a spectrum, right? Like you may be a 10 on the extroverted scale, you
Right.
may be a 7, or you may be an introvert and you're a 1, right? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
shout out to you, but that's the way you're wired.
Right.
You can always grow and stuff, but you have to pay attention to how you are because I believe that when you self-realize even your natural wiring, it's guided towards how God created you for
Right.
a specific reason. So you have natural
Natural
ability,
ability.
natural
Natural wiring.
wiring,
Okay.
and sorry, and continuing on that,
Mm.
your learning style, uh, there's literally a way where how your brain processes information. Your brain processes information a specific way. So I'll talk to somebody, it's like, man, uh, we've known people who have a photographic memory.
Right.
Their learning style is reading. So you have hands-on, they can read something, they can listen
Memories.
to something, or they just have to see something, or they have to physically do it, like I said earlier, right?
Yeah.
Um, that is how your brain receives and processes information. So you have this ability to acknowledge, hey, how does my brain best receive information? Now, when I've trained people in my
Mm-hmm.
previous career, I'll try to incorporate all learning styles because it's better to do a holistic learning
Right.
experience. But I was always aware of what their primary learning
Right.
style was. And that's
And
how,
that's different with
and they learned a
everybody.
lot quicker, honestly. They learned a lot quicker. And then the last one is skills, right? Skills, what I would acknowledge skills are, um, skills are abilities that have been acquired.
Right.
Now, you can develop your natural abilities and develop those skills even more
Mm-hmm.
and grow them, right? Because LeBron James never practiced, his natural ability would have gone to waste. So you can
Right.
develop your natural
Yeah.
strengths, but there are certain things that you pick up that are useful skills, right? That,
Mm-hmm.
for example, like we aren't born speaking Spanish,
Right. Right.
but we acquired that skill thankfully from our parents
Right.
who taught us from an early age, and now I'm teaching my son how to speak Spanish because,
Right.
and that's a skill you pick up, right? So I would say all three of these things together would are what'll tell you, hey, these are my strengths. All these three things together, break these things down, and you will find out overall together they all work together to tell you, hey, these are your strengths. What are things that you can already do in your skills, how your brain processes information, and what
Mm-hmm.
are natural abilities that you
Mm.
have.
Do you think that and that's a good point. I mean, that's good points. Do you think that the people you surround yourself with have an impact on that? I know you kind of just said it, but like in those three areas, like because I know you could be naturally like LeBron James, right? Naturally, he's like that, but it doesn't just stop there. Like sometimes I feel like you're not motivated enough, and maybe you need people that have been where you've been or know what you don't know and know how to get there. And so what do you say to that? Do you think that's
Yeah,
has
yeah.
something to do with it?
I think that's super important. I think whenever you're trying to learn something about yourself specifically, um, there's even three ways in that you can learn. I like to think in threes. I'm a list kind of guy, so
Right.
hopefully this is helpful for everybody, right?
Right.
Um, you will you will first, what I would encourage is that you have and you try to have some self-awareness.
Okay.
So you try to think, hey, these are uh wow, I really enjoy I'm really good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell just because you see it in yourself. You see, and it's not prideful. Pride is thinking more of yourself than what you are. If
Right.
you think exactly, if you're self-aware of what you are, then that's
Yeah.
spot on, right? So self-awareness, you also have you can use outside of awareness in the sense that there's so many tools nowadays.
Yeah.
AI is useful. It's
Yeah.
not a cheat code, but it's a tool that you
Yeah.
can tell them, hey, what are my strengths based on these things, right? Um, they have tools like the Clifton Strength Assessment, which this video is not sponsored by them, but maybe one day. But you have outside assessments that, based on how you answer questions, it can kind of dig into your psyche, and you now you look at it and it's not gonna, oh, okay, this is my strength. You acknowledge it. Okay, this is true. I remember this happened to me like like close to a decade ago, around the time where I started getting passionate about all this stuff, that I took a test at the college that I was going to, and it was telling me about how I can it was basically saying, hey, what major, what career would I be good at, and what major if the school offered that major. And it ended up being guidance counselor.
Okay.
Now I said to myself, do I want to be a guidance
Yeah.
counselor? Do I want to go get a master's? And that'll be something to you to decide. For me, it was like, no, I don't want to get a master's degree.
Yeah.
But I acknowledge, is this true? What about this career makes sense? I like being a guidance counselor. It led me to understand something about myself that I like to help other people be who they're supposed to
Right.
be and do what they're supposed to
That's
do,
good.
which is this is how this podcast came to be, right? My
Yeah.
desire to do that. So you have outside assessments that can help you and give you insight, right?
Right.
But the third thing, and I think I believe it's maybe it's because I'm an extrovert, I don't know, but I think it's super important for everybody to be able to do this. Um, is have a community,
Mm-hmm.
have people, have AI can replace flesh and blood.
Yeah.
You have people in your life that can speak to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be a parent, an uncle, or maybe you don't have any of those things, which I've worked with youth, and I would say go to a local church, have a
Right.
youth leader that loves you, that can invest in you, that is looking for your best interest, is looking to help you grow, right? Or maybe a coach, right? You and I have had the blessing of having leaders in our lives. We
Mm-hmm.
also have our parents. But even if you think about it, if you didn't have those things, when you think about high school, we went to the same high school back in Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Key teachers, right? That were just, man, there's a handful of teachers that there were a small handful that were just they sucked. I'm sorry. But there were teachers that, man, you still remember this to
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
day, and we're even friends on
'Cause-
Facebook
yeah.
now.
Because an impact and then
But it's a community,
yeah.
guys. Like it's a community. So I understand life may throw curveballs, and that's a whole nother
Yeah.
issue how you can find. But I think those three things: self-awareness, just on yourself, meditate, think, pray, right? Think
Mm-hmm.
of yourself, ask God, and I believe that God uses all three of these things, right?
Right.
To help you uncover what your strengths are, what your abilities are, what you're good at.
Yeah. No. And listen, you hit the head right there on the nail. I think, there's a saying that says you're the average of the five you hang out with. So even that's true, I would say as well, when it comes to trying to, find your purpose or, find your career or knowing yourself, etc. If you hang out with five people who are, let's say, up to no good, you're going to be the sixth one. It's just law of average per se, right? So you always make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded or had the best interest in you. And yeah, you definitely have people invest in you because I feel like a lot of people think I can do things all myself, and I feel like when you're young, you don't really have your head on your shoulders much. You need that guidance. And then when you get older, it's like a circle, like it's like a cycle. When you get older, you realize, oh, it's important to have people that know more than you. And it's okay for people to know more than you as long as they're guiding you and you're, receptive to that.
Yeah, I think that's just how if you're looking to live a purposeful life
Hmm.
and have a career, which I believe you don't find purpose in your career, you bring your purpose to your
I like
career.
that.
I believe that in order to find purpose and have it reflect in your career, you need to be in that tension between having a mentor and being a mentor.
Hmm.
I think and this is an encouragement to everybody. The reason I am here today in this first episode, and until God, calls me home, and I'm doing this podcast and I do career coaching for Gen Z
Yeah.
specifically, is because I believe that this is what number one God has placed me on this earth to do. But bro, I've been lost, I've been confused, even
Right.
with key people in my life, and thankfully
Mm.
they've helped me through it. And now I'm just looking to be that for everybody else. But community, bro, is key, man. It's so
Yeah,
key.
I think that's like one of the foundations. Like, without that, then imagine trying to get somewhere by yourself. Like, it doesn't feel the same. It's not as fulfilling.
No matter how introverted you are, you want to be surrounded by people. And
Yeah.
the older you get, you realize, I mean, now we're in our 30s, right?
Hmm.
Um, you don't need as many people,
Right.
but you have to have
Yeah, yeah. It's
people.
like the
Like
quality versus quantity per se, but still,
even even in that thing you said, right? Five people. Like, hey, have five people. If you have three, then great.
yeah.
But find people, right? And I believe I've been blessed to, again, the local church.
Hmm.
Um, to be mentored and to also mentor other
Right.
young people. And I think when you're in the community, uh, you may find some people that just aren't are jealous or whatever like that,
Yeah.
but you will um just strive, and I believe that God will allow you to meet people and put people in your path like He's done for us in our 20s, and if you're watching this, um, you will have people who come across your path, and you just have to keep an eye out for them.
So, and then I know there's three steps, right? We're in the first one, which is know yourself. But like, what would you say for people who, or youth, right? Or anyone who's asking or thinking, like, I feel like I'm far behind compared to everybody else. Like they're comparing themselves to other people's journey when it comes to their career or what they want to do or their passion, whatever they want to do. Some people feel like they're either too far behind, either too old, too young. Like, what would you say to someone who's thinking that way or
I
asking that?
think that social media is
Mm,
like I think social media is you can definitely use it as a tool,
yeah.
but bro, it definitely can. I think like anything can
Hmm.
has a pro and a con to
Yeah.
it.
Does.
Um, don't look at Instagram or people's highlights. Now, granted, I have an Instagram. We both have an Instagram, right? Uh, uh, you can follow me on Instagram and you'll see my highlights,
Yeah.
right? In my posts, I'll post photos about my wife, about my two kids, right?
Mhm.
Happy birthday to them. They made another year of life.
Yeah.
But we won't post the saddest moments that
You
we
won't post
face.
your
Right.
losses per se.
You won't post your losses, right? And I'm not saying that you should post your losses because you don't want to be just like a Debbie Downer online.
Hmm.
Um, you should be a Debbie. You should be, if you're going through something, go to somebody physically, like go
Okay.
to somebody, right? As a pastor, like I work with people in person who've
Right.
been through loss, who've been through heartache.
Hmm.
Don't post your stuff online because again, you have to have a community, but not everybody is your
Right.
community.
Right.
Be selective with people. If you're finding a career in anything who are older than you, who care about you, who love you, and who are old enough to see what's good in you.
Right. Yeah.
So if you feel behind because of social media, I think it's something that you ought to just not put too much weight on social media because
Right.
people are living their best life on
Right.
social media, but rather you should focus on hey, start with these three steps of finding your strengths. What am I good at? Maybe finding people who can invest in you and touch grass a little bit, and
Yeah.
and hopefully you're able to find people that can do this for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think social media is big. And I think that, I feel like a lot of comparison is because of social media. People put the wins and not the losses, and then you think they're ahead, you're not. But at the end of the day, it's your journey. And as long as you have, your community and things of that sort, I think it's a good step forward. So knowing yourself, definitely knowing who you are, it's important because then nobody else could tell you who you are or who you should be. Um, and meaning like, oh no, you should be doing it. Like, if they don't have the best interest in you, as long as you know who you are and you have your community, then nothing they say is going to sway where you want to go, you want to get to.
Honestly, yeah. So I think
Yeah.
those are the three ways you would find out what your strengths are specifically.
Right. Right.
Self-evaluation, try to be as honest with yourself as possible
Mm-hmm.
because you're not lying to anybody but
All
yourself.
right.
You can use Strength Finder assessments on you can find Strength Finder assessments
Yeah.
online. You
Yeah.
can
There's
see the
different
Clifton one
tools.
has a free version, right? That it could be a good tool to use, even ChatGPT, but use the people around you,
Yeah.
right?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Just looking at some notes here, but yeah, no. So definitely know yourself, right? So then, do you want to move on to the second one or yeah?
Well, even in know yourself, because there's more to that, right? So the strengths are one of the things.
Okay.
So the other things you have to show strengths and like and even when it comes to know your strengths, like okay, like we have that part of it, natural ability, everything like that. And now when it comes to knowing yourself, you also have to
That's
know
true.
two other things. Let me just say this because
Yeah.
you probably won't spend too much time on it.
Right.
When it comes to your weak, so it's three
Right.
other
Right.
things: weaknesses.
Yeah.
Um,
I missed that. Sorry.
no, no, it's good, fine.
That's my weakness, and just gotta work on that. Yeah.
It's okay.
And I.
Weaknesses are something that I believe there's certain types of weaknesses that are just like the other side of a coin.
Mm,
So don't let your weaknesses, I want you to acknowledge them, right? Acknowledge what your weaknesses are
yeah.
and try to, okay, lean into your strengths,
Right.
try to grow in your weaknesses. But even if you get to a point where, like, if you're doing a business, stuff like that, like
Mm,
I was working in business for the last decade, and I knew what my strengths were. I acknowledged it, and I would outsource people who their strength was my weaknesses. And you
mm,
work as a community. Again, that's why
right.
community is so important. So your weaknesses, we can unpack that in the future as well. How to, but develop your weaknesses, but also consider that your weaknesses may be another side of the same coin, heads or
Right.
tails. Heads are your strengths, tails are your
Yeah.
weaknesses. It's a
I
byproduct of
think
your
a lot of
strengths.
people try to make their weaknesses their strength, which in some areas, in some cases, that can be true. But at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like you just have to own it. Like this is not, I can't do this. Like this is not who I am. But finding yourself and having like a complementary relationship with people when it comes to whatever you want to do in your career or business or social media, whatever you want to do, having people that could, pick up that slack per se, or complement you when it comes to your weakness.
I think that yeah, and even to continue in that thought, I think that weaknesses are if you maybe they won't become your greatest strength. There's some
Right.
people who just defeat the odds and hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. But like I always think the first example that comes to my mind is like Steph Curry, right? Or even well, Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry is a person who was a great 3-point shooter, but his defense sucked in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
His defense, he's not a great defender, but his
Mhm.
defense doesn't suck as much any like
All
he's
right.
not terrible at defense. He holds his own,
Right. Right.
which it helps to make his strength more effective. So all you have to do in your weakness is you don't have to make it like the best strength about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You just have to improve in it little by little to where it allows your strength to produce
Even
the
more. Yeah.
to to produce the
Stand out.
effect
Mhm.
to stand out more.
Stand out
Exactly. Yeah.
more.
So yeah, your weaknesses are that. Now when it comes to I believe you have to have passions and values. So
Hmm.
passions
Okay.
are simply, and I believe they come from a similar place, and I think there's a way to figure this out, which I'll get
Okay.
to. But when it comes to passions and values, um, passions are basically like fuel in a car. What makes you feel
Okay.
alive?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's certain things that make you feel alive, right? Like I like playing basketball,
Hmm.
or I like doing certain things, right? What a task, and I may be a group of people, it may be a certain activity, and you may ask yourself, just like I asked myself this question, right? When I got that assessment that told me, hey, you should be a guidance
Right.
counselor, and I'm like, okay, what do I like? What I don't like about it? I don't like master's degree. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
get my
Yeah. Yeah.
master's degree. That's not my learning style.
Right.
I am a hands-on learner.
Yep.
Um, so I decided to pursue business to learn and how to work with people in organizational development. But but my passion when I found in there, I'm like, okay, I really like to help people accomplish
Hmm.
where they're supposed to go. So I literally found the essence of what I like in an overall
Yeah.
theme or activity. And so you may find something that makes you feel alive, whether it be helping a group of people. You may
Hmm.
find that, hey, I'm passionate about Gen Z because
Hmm.
they're where I was. Or you may be passionate about a cause. You may be passionate about adoption. You may be passionate about just a group of people,
Right.
a cause, or an activity.
Right. Right.
Um, realize, hey, those things make you feel alive. For some people, organizing portfolios make them feel alive, and hey, that's good for you, right? Whatever that task or that thing that makes you feel alive, whether it be a group of people, a task, or a cause, pay attention to those things. When you don't even have to set an
Yeah.
alarm to do certain things, right? um but now values are are things that also not just like fuel, but they're more like anchors on a boat.
Hmm.
These are the things that are important to me. I recognize that
Ground
they're
you.
important,
Hmm.
and you're going to filter your decisions through those things. Values are
Yeah. It's
filters.
good.
Now, how they're similar, they're different aspects of who we are. And when you know yourself, you have to identify these things, right? Even values, there's professional and personal values, things that are important to you, maybe making money, maybe time
Hmm.
flexibility, right? But whenever you and your passions are just tax things that make you
Yeah.
feel alive, but listen, watch this. They both come from the same place, and they come from your life experiences.
Hmm. Yeah. It's huge.
you live a life,
Yeah.
you've gone through certain things, um, you've experienced loss, you've experienced good moments and good and bad. Your life experiences shape
Mm-hmm.
what's important to you.
Yeah.
So I think that values and passion, how you figure that out, you just look it back in your life experiences.
Right. No, I agree. I think experiences are huge. I think it's what makes it like real. It makes it authentic, and everybody has different experiences. And for sure, I feel like passion, values definitely anchor. I think we live in a time now where like people's values are just swayed by, what's happening. Like, they're not really grounded to what they believe, and then they're just easily manipulated per se by what's going on in the world or what somebody, what I'm saying. I feel like you have to really know yourself, know what you believe, why you believe, your values, and that's going to help you when it comes to, finding your career, finding your passion or your, whatever you want to do in life. So I think that's important, especially for the generation today, because I feel like with social media and everything going so fast, we forget to slow down and really put things into perspective and think about the things that really matter and will help us.
100%. So I think like in everything, right? How you find your values, right? Uh, Let me look at, and if you're younger, you don't have a bank account, that's fine. But
Mm,
typically, when you look at somebody, hey, what's important to you?
mm,
Let me look at your time.
yeah,
Let me look at your money. Um, Let me just see those two things. There's more, but I'll start with that. Like, let me see where you're investing your money and what are you investing your time in. That's important to you, right? I'm in a stage now where I have two young kids
mm,
and I have a wife. That's important to me. Now, 10 years ago, though I wanted to be married, I wanted to be a
yeah,
father, right? It wasn't a value
right, right,
how it is now.
right, right. That's good.
So there's certain
I
things, hey,
see.
I'm looking to do these things. So you consider what your values are, you consider what's important to you. Maybe there's certain guiding principles personally, right? Like for me, I value my relationship with God.
Hmm.
So that means I value the Bible and I anything that I do, I filter through the Bible. Right now, my wife is important to me. I say no to certain things because my wife is important to me.
Right.
So how you filter decisions, and then you can even go professional, right? If you're looking to, if money's important to you, okay, how do you make like you're looking to get something that pays you the most amount of money possible,
Mm,
or you're looking for flexibility, and we'll get into how those things fit into the marketplace. But yeah, you have to know these things.
yeah,
Try to evaluate yourself,
yeah,
look at your time, right? And even ask people around you, hey, what would you say are my priorities?
that's good.
Whether you work with a family member or you work with a career coach, like I'm a career coach, and I've asked people, what's important to you? Oh, yeah, what did you do this week? And I ask them, and they tell me about the week, and I'm like, wow, so school isn't a priority for you. And it's like, oh, because you didn't invest a lot of time in it, right?
Yeah.
Other things like that, but you find out what your values are by self-evaluating your passion and ask people around you or even work with a coach, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's me or not. But yeah,
No, no, and I definitely seen you. Obviously, I haven't been in your sessions like with the actual um, what's it called? Your coach, yeah, your coaching sessions with the people you worked with. But I have seen and kind of have been able to like look at you and how your growth and the way you definitely care about these young people. I think super important because I feel a lot of people feel like they're about themselves, and it's important to have someone, maybe somebody they're not too close to kind of like see that value in them and kind of guide them and coach them. I think that's important now.
I remember I was working with this young man, and he was telling me that, okay, what's important to you personally? Like what's valuable? Like what do you consider important to you? He's like, oh, respect. And I'm like, well, most guys respect is key, right?
Right.
Um but then he said, hey, like respect is important to me. And what I found is that when I work with people, okay, let's look at your life experiences, right? For him, his father left when he
Mm.
was young,
Yeah.
and I asked him, okay, how did that make you feel? It made me feel sad. Why?
Right.
And he told me it's because, oh, because he left. I'm like, okay. And we were able to connect what his experience, right? He lived through something,
Hmm.
but now one of his personal values is dependability.
Yeah.
He wants to be dependable
Right.
because unfortunately his father wasn't,
Yeah.
right? So even you think about stories like Will Smith, right, in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Mhm.
he told me that
Yeah.
scene was crazy, bro. I
Yeah.
don't know if y'all have seen it, but that scene is crazy.
Actually, yeah.
Where it's like it's a hey, like I don't know, nobody he can. He wasn't here my whole life. Will Smith
Yeah.
talking about his dad. He wasn't here his whole life.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm gonna love my kids because you can't teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
It was a value that even that moment called for that he
Mhm.
realized he had this whole time,
Yeah.
but his dad wasn't available. his whole life, and now he was going to be the father because of Allah's. So values, again, values and what you're passionate about a cause, maybe because of a really good experience or a really bad experience. And if you're watching this, like I may not be there to coach you. Maybe we'll have a future coaching session
Right.
together. I
Yeah.
hope, right? But even if you're home, you can start to think now, what are the best memories I have and what are the worst memories I have? And you will find your passions and your values
That's
in
good.
those moments.
Yeah. Never thought of it like that. It's really good.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I mean, knowing yourself, bro. You think when people just hear knowing yourself, you think it's just kind of like, I know who I am. My name is Christian, and I'm good at this, and I think I got this. Like, but it goes much deeper than that. I think everything has a root. So when you really dig into your past, dig into your experiences, because not everybody has the same experiences you
Right.
have, or I think everybody has totally different experiences. And because even though, let's say, you grew up with a father and you grew up with a father, the circumstances might have been different, and maybe your reaction would have been it was a little different than the other person. So I feel like everybody's experience is different, and based on that, that also plays into how you grow up and how you think and how you are.
And you will find that there's 3 points. I know we've been a long time on
Yeah,
one, but you will see how these next two we're going to go by quickly, and there will
yeah,
be other videos, other episodes of the Purpose Talk where we're going to go into deeper on the details
yeah,
of these other
for
two.
sure.
But you will see how we just spent a lot of time in this, but out of this,
Hmm.
everything else flows because
Kind of, yeah.
you're going to start to see how the second point, know your marketplace and know your plan,
Hmm.
how knowing yourself is going to streamline that
Yeah,
process.
yeah, yeah. That's good.
So,
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, so all right, so I'm just looking at my notes here. Find your career direction, as you mentioned, 3 steps. We have know yourself, right? And we talked a lot about your identity, which is very important. Your strengths, your passions, your values. I think that all right ties into knowing yourself. Did I get that right?
yep, 100%.
Cool. That's what I have here. So that's my strength right now. So that's good. See how it goes. Um, yeah, I mean, is anything else from that knowing yourself? Is there something else you want to add? Or maybe we could say that for another video. Maybe kind
No,
of
we'll probably
we
go
could share like our experiences. Maybe for another video, we could maybe share
oh,
our
100%. Yeah.
experiences, and people could laugh, could cry, or could just feel bad for us, whatever. But I
No,
think
I
that's
think I think so. So going from there, when you consider that, now the second thing to find your career steps, right? I
mhm.
listed all three in the beginning.
Right, right.
Now we're just breaking them down, right? And the second thing you want to know is know uh know the marketplace.
Okay,
Now, the marketplace.
right.
The marketplace is really just
Like
how
whether there's opportunities or
where
like
the opportunity
demands
lies.
per se.
Exactly. So the marketplace is what are the needs that are out there
Right, right.
already, right?
That's good.
So I think it's important to know yourself because now that you know yourself, a lot of people that I've worked with, oh, I'm looking at this job, I'm looking at this job, and they're picking like, bro, they say they want to be a firefighter, but then they want to be an accountant. I'm like, whoa, like
Like they
you're
just applied and they have a match with like John Cena next week, like and then I prepare. Like, yeah, I heard like there's like
John
memes of
Cena, you're welcome on the pod, bro.
yeah. I
Um,
don't know if we'll be able to see him, but
yeah, the chair's probably gonna be empty, but
no, no, definitely. I mean, what you're saying, I mean, and I know you just started talking about it, but I just thought of a question. Like, what would you say? Because I'm trying to think of like the perspective of someone who's hearing this, right? And I am hearing this down too as well. You're kind of coaching me and kind of helping me out here too. But how do you figure out how can I figure out what industry is worth like pursuing or exploring? Because I know you said you kind of just mentioned, oh, when you want to be an accountant, then you want to be maybe a plumber. Like, how do you know what's worth pursuing, especially in today's like right now? Because I know back then it was different.
So as far as figuring out like what's out there, there's
Mm.
so many tools you can Google, right?
Okay.
Like Google or ChatGPT or use AI to find out what exactly is
Hmm.
out there. But I think it all comes down to what are you looking for?
Mm.
And this is where know yourself comes in. What are your values? Right?
Right.
What are you looking for? So
That's good.
even like, and we'll do a whole episode I have planned in a few weeks of how to be whether you should be an entrepreneur or entrepreneur, right? Whether you should work for yourself or work for somebody else.
Mm.
Work for yourself or yeah, work for somebody else, right?
Mm.
That entrepreneurs, bro, like they may have a skill to or a passion to do
Hmm.
multiple things, but they may a lot of them are become entrepreneurs, and I became one because I have a value. One of my values is time flexibility and creativeness. I love to create. I love to my time to be flexible, not to be tied down to a job.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to acknowledge what are your values. Is your value making money? Then I would even free coaching session right here. If you're looking to make money, that's one of your values. You look in the marketplace. for something that just leans into your natural strength.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
That's good.
naturally good at something, like bro, lean into that, develop the skills around your natural strength, and find it in the marketplace, and try to make as much money as possible. But you
So
have to see
yeah,
what you
I
value.
hear
You
you.
know what I
So
mean?
and that's okay. So then that's practical. Like yes, you, definitely based on your skill, based on your values. But then what would you say to someone who's like not yet an adult or getting to that adult age and they kind of want to know like what if they do love something or they're passionate about something, but their parents are saying that, hey, that's not realistic. Like you're not gonna make money in that, or you're not that's not long term. That's like that's just temporary. So don't really pursue it. Like what would you say to someone? I know it's
Yeah, I
case by
think
case, but
no, yeah, like so if your parents are saying that, hey, like you shouldn't do that, this is my passion, I would acknowledge it. I would acknowledge, because I'm not gonna be the one that says, oh, ignore your parents, do what you want because this
mm,
is my life, like that one
right,
song
right.
which Jemmy, my wife, always quotes. But acknowledge what your parents are saying, see if there's any truth to what they're concerned, what is their concern. 'Cause usually parents, especially for us,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
happened in Hispanic culture,
yeah,
right? And there's other cultures that think this way, but um like their desires for you, like, hey, like be realistic, don't pursue, like don't do these things that oh, you're lazy and stuff like that. But acknowledge that their concern most of the time when I've worked with parents, especially Hispanic Gen Z, is that their parents want them to be proactive members of society,
right,
and
right.
financially, right, they want them to prosper in the biblical way, right? So I think that acknowledge what they're saying, see their concerns, and tell them, hey, I acknowledge this, um and acknowledge what they're saying, see if you can talk to them, work with them, and really just try to show them
Right. Yeah.
what the value, what your thought process in this is. But realistically, like if you sometimes it may be your parents questioning you because you never finish anything you start.
Right.
So that may be also another thing to consider, where it's like, I've always said I want to do this, I want to take this, and I don't finish it, and now I'm doing like I want to be I want to do something that, and I'll probably never finish it.
Right.
And it may be something that takes a lot of will, like starting on YouTube, right? Like it takes a lot of it's going to be a long process, right, to grow this business. But I would acknowledge them, create and we'll get to that in the plan. But yeah,
Mhm.
like I think you have to
Yeah.
acknowledge them and try to show them what that plan is, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, that's good. So knowing the marketplace,
so you have to know the
um,
marketplace.
but to know that you need to know yourself, like like, because you can't just go in blind. You need to,
But that's where you start career hopping.
yeah,
That's where, bro, like 58% of people who graduate switch their majors.
yeah,
Like I was like I saw that stat and I'm like, wow, Gen Z switches careers, which you spend so much money, you waste so much money. Like I wasted money.
right.
Um,
Same
bro,
for
like
me.
how much is a college class nowadays? Like
That's
in-state tuition's like at least $500-600, and that's at a community college.
yeah, it's right.
Um, if you go to out of states, it's more. So,
Yeah.
uh, you're switching all these things, and we'll get to that in a second, and know your
Mhm.
plan. But you have to know what's out there. Look to see what's out there. Look what you're desiring from a career, how it fits, whether you want it to support what you do personally, or it is going to be something that you want to pursue as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, right? Um, yeah. So,
Yeah. No,
uh,
I agree. That's
yeah.
pretty
So,
good. Straightforward. Knowing the marketplace.
then, the last thing that I feel like you should know is know your plan. And this is how all three flow, right? You know yourself, you know what's out there, and then this is the challenge that I face personally, and I've worked with a lot of young professionals or college students that find themselves in this boat. This is where you find a lot of difficulty as well. Um, a lot of people go to college because that's what they feel like they're supposed to do.
Mm.
I have to go to college for what? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what my major is yet. But it's like, bro, like number one, is your learning style adapted for college? I have friends who make six figures currently, and they realize that, hey, traditional college isn't for me. I want to become an electrician. They took that route,
Trade school.
trade school. And bro, you save
Yeah.
money. We'll talk about that in another episode,
Yeah.
bro, how that works, how that can be an option for you. But uh, really, like he chose a career,
Hmm.
and he went to trade school. He leaned into his learning styles hands on.
Yeah.
So for 2 years, and it just made other sense, but he leaned into his learning style. He likes being an electrician,
Hmm.
and he gets paid well now.
Yeah.
And for him, his job is something that supports his family, and he doesn't mind going to work, coming home, and then he lives his life. He doesn't have a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
So
and some people kind of like do both, like, because another question was like, how do you balance that, right? How do you balance, doing something you're passionate about, but also financial stability per se? Like, I feel like some people kind of like just go all in to what they want to do. I mean, if you're living with your parents and you don't have much bills, I think that's something you could attempt. But when you get older, then you got to start thinking about, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I love to do. Let me plan it for long term. And then let me also maybe have a career or a job that I kind of like to do, but I know this is not all I want to do. Or, so kind of like maybe use that to kind of fund what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah.
100%, yeah. And I mean, you can take the step like my friend that I'm telling you about.
Hmm.
Uh, my boy was an electrician.
Hmm.
He was living with his parents.
Okay.
He bought his first home
Nice.
while living with his parents. He was renting it out.
Hmm.
Like, and this isn't a real estate lesson, but my boy was renting his house out and he was paying out his mortgage. He was like 21,
Yeah.
like,
It's crazy.
and he was chilling. So, and then he lived with his parents. He was making this money.
Hmm.
And eventually now, like, I think he eventually wants to become an entrepreneur as an electrician, which he'll make even more money. Um, uh, but but you have to find when you talk about your plan, okay, college part of college is not, you don't go to college just to go to college.
Right.
College, if college makes sense for you, it makes sense. Our wives, both of our wives are nurses.
Hmm.
College, yes, they go to
It's
college, they
essentially.
went to nursing school, and they're but they knew what they wanted. They wanted to be a
Right.
nurse, so they
Right.
took that route. They didn't go to college like aimlessly,
Right. Right.
right? And they found a career that aligns with their purpose. Both of them love people. They
Hmm.
want to serve. My wife works at a children's hospital, right? Like both of our wives help people. And your wife in the emergency room, right?
Hmm.
Ange, shout out to Ange. But Jamie and Ange found purpose, and they really just they took the route that's necessary to achieve that goal. You don't
Right.
go to college just aimlessly, right?
Right.
Um, you have to consider your finances, right?
Hmm.
My recommendation, as much as possible, if your situation allows it, I would encourage you like try not to get into take out student loans.
Hmm.
Especially if you don't know what you're, especially, please, especially if you don't
Hmm.
know what you want to do. You're just
Yeah.
taking out loans for no reason, right? But if you're able to, once you know your purpose, you find, hey, I want to help people and I want to do it through nursing, like our wives did it, then hey, go for it, right? Try to be as debt free as possible because that's when you're talking about your plan, you're talking about financial costs,
Right.
right? What's that going to be at? What are the skills that I need to develop, right? Like our wives have a natural wiring to love people and to be gentle and
Yeah.
care and
Sure.
loving and
Yeah.
hospitable with people.
Hmm.
But here's where your natural strengths, where you develop skills like how to inject a needle
Right. Right.
to serve
Right.
your natural strengths.
Yeah. It's good.
Um, and then the other thing you have to consider when it comes to your plan is
Hmm.
networking. So it all comes
Yeah.
back to community as well. So when we're talking about a plan, we're talking about finances. How am I gonna, what is it gonna cost me
Right.
financially and time wise? What does that look like? Create the most efficient plan where you save as much money as possible. You get into, don't go into so much debt the
Right.
least possible.
Hmm.
Um, you have to see, okay, what skills do I have to acquire, and where's the best, most efficient way to acquire those
Right.
skills, right? A lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, you have to go to college, but if you consider that maybe your learning style, you want to lean into your learning style, trade school, or even now you go to YouTube University. There's so
Yeah.
many things that you can learn, right? Video
Right.
editing, graphic design, right? These
Yeah.
are valuable skills that companies are looking for, right? Um, for you to develop.
Right.
So
Right.
when it comes to your plan, you have to know around those three things. And the
Hmm.
last one, which I didn't mention, is networking, right? I was able to connect one of my career coaching clients to a friend of mine back in Jersey who is he is a forget the official title. He's a detective. He's
Okay.
like a lieutenant, I believe, in the police department in a certain city, in a
Okay.
really bad city. Well, in Newark.
Mhm.
Um, in
It's
Newark,
crazy.
he is a high in a homicide
Right.
area.
Right.
He started off as a street cop and
Okay.
everything like that. So I was able to connect him. So I was able to connect one of my coaching clients who wants to be a police
Hmm.
officer, and he I connected him with my friend. Um, and he laid out his journey, how it was, and he laid out how it could possibly, this is the way you could go,
Right.
right? It won't be exactly the same, but this is a path that I took. This is how it could work out for you.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
networking with people, if you're in high school, There's programs with your guidance counselor. If you work with me, I know a lot of people. I don't know everybody, and hopefully I get to meet more people that if you want to be a cop and something like,
Yeah.
but try to find people. Your best connection will be, what is it? Your net worth is your
Network. No, your
network.
network is your net worth.
Correct. Yeah, sorry. Your network is your
Or
net
vice versa.
worth.
Actually, doesn't matter.
Either or.
Yeah.
Network, net worth,
Yeah.
right? Like connecting with people, right? Go to police department. Hey, I want to be a police officer,
Yeah.
right? Like do that. Like maybe
Yeah.
you're not maybe you're introverted and that scares you. That's
Yeah.
fine. Maybe take that
But
step
the
of
answer
faith.
is
So
always no if you don't ask. And
so try to
yeah.
find people who are possibly and get exposed. If you're in high school and I had the blessing of serving in a church,
Yeah.
of doing things like that. So I was around different people and I found out what I wanted to do just by subverting. I you and I spend our teenage years and our 20s serving at church and we
Right.
developed. I used to think, and this is a real story, I used to think that the only thing I was good at in life, my only strength was playing drums on a Sunday morning. I didn't know that I can teach. I didn't know that I can speak.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous. I was scared. I was unsure of myself. But in the context of community within a local church and
Right.
outside, and networking with people, finding out different things, then I was able to become who I am
Yep.
today.
That's good.
So know yourself, know the marketplace, and your plan really revolves around those three things.
That's good. I mean, that's I think super straightforward. I know kind of talked about it, some people because I feel like some people doubt themselves. They might know themselves, they might know the market, they might have a plan, but like I guess just one question that comes to mind, what would you say to people who maybe have all those things aligned, but they're still like overthinking or like they're like what would you say to someone who's still struggling to kind of just they have all those three things, but actually make like doing it? Because I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes you're motivated. I feel like there's a difference, and this is what I've learned. There's a difference between motivation, dedication. Because motivation, sometimes you're motivated, right? You're motivated to do something, but that's temporarily. That's like for the moment. Something bad happens, something goes wrong from your plan, then you kind of deviate from that. But I think you should be dedicated. You know what I'm saying? Dedicated and just kind of push forward and know. I guess, yeah. I don't know, because I feel like some people might have everything aligned or may think they have everything aligned, but they might overthink. What if this fails? What if this fails? You know what I'm saying?
I think, yeah, man. I think, and I struggle with that. I remember there was a teacher in high
Mhm.
school, shout out to Mr. Anagnos.
Mr. A.
I would always I would always ask him, we'll be in class and I was unsure of myself and I'll be like, he would ask a question, I'll be like, is it this? And he'd be like,
Mhm.
are you asking me or are you telling me?
Right, right, yeah.
Come on, Gus, tell me. And he would tell me and I'll be like, and then I'll say the answer, yeah, Gus, you're right. Stop doubting yourself. Just do. Just do. I think a lot of the times we expect that we're not gonna fail, and that's not
Right,
realistic. We're human.
right,
We're gonna fail.
right,
The only perfect man in the history of the world is Jesus, right? But
right.
we're gonna fail. You can't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
Right.
There's a saying, I forget where I heard it in our
Yeah, yeah.
childhood, but it
I think it's
stuck
a
with me,
movie
right?
or something.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a movie, right? But you're gonna fail, but the worst thing you can do is to not take action.
Right.
So I'm not saying to be reckless, right? Uh uh don't be reckless and make not smart decisions,
Mhm.
right? You should consider what everybody else tells you, but sometimes you're looking to know everything in advance before you take what you know you need
Right.
to do next.
Yeah. Let's go.
Um, uh, uh, every step you take is going to prepare you for what's next, right?
Mhm.
When you get married, the season of engagement prepares you for marriage, right?
Right.
In this season right now, you may be going through something, but that's a tool in your tool belt for the next
Yep.
season, right? You go to school so you can get skills and abilities so that whenever you go to the next season, you acquire them. So whether you're at right now, whether you're in the step of, hey, I know myself, or I know myself, or maybe I need to learn myself a little bit more. I don't know what's out there. I just need to look at to see what's out there, and I don't know
Mhm.
what my plan is. Take the next step.
Right.
Know yourself. Take those steps. If you don't have a community, find somebody. I would always say go to a church.
Call the
Um,
coach.
uh, I guess this would be a good spot to promote the Know Your Strength experience that
Yeah.
I'm going to be hosting. The link is in the description,
Yeah.
where
Definitely check it out, guys.
where we will work together to uncover what your strengths are, take the first step to finding your
Mhm.
career purpose.
Mhm.
Um,
Sure.
the link will be in the description below,
Mhm.
but even if you don't, right, find a community of people who care about you. Like,
Right.
I don't know you, but I am passionate about Gen Z. I do want to help, and in this day and age of anxiety, of depression,
Mhm.
of just worriness, It is a limiting belief. Guys,
Right.
your purpose, what I'll tell you is your purpose is out there.
Right.
Your purpose is out there, right? It's waiting for you to find it. It's waiting for you to take that first step.
Hmm.
Um, and I really hope you don't take it alone, whether you have somebody in your life that you can look for, or we decide to work together. Um, take the first step, and you're gonna fail. You're gonna mess up. I messed up a lot. I mess up every day still, right? But I think my why, my achieving my purpose, which you'll find in the center of your strengths, values, and passions, you'll find the reason for your existence. And once you find that why, uh, through trial and error,
Yeah.
through different ways, then you can line up with your career with something that aligns with your purpose,
Right.
with your
Yeah.
why you do things.
I agree. No, definitely, bro. I think, action over intent. Like that's something that I used to have a shirt that said that, but you can have intention to do something, but just if you don't act upon it, you'll never see the results. So just act upon it, learn from your mistakes. I don't think there's failing. I think if you fail, you just learn. But if you win or you have a success, you still learn. So either way you're learning. It's a learning game, and then you could get better that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't Yeah, guys, I mean, I thank you for joining for all those who are here live
Thank
and
you guys.
the replay fam again.
Yeah.
The purpose talk is well, I hope you like this video, share it, subscribe
Like, share,
and
subscribe. Definitely, guys. I definitely recommend because what's going to be happening is going to be very valuable information. I'm super proud of my brother. Definitely something that he's passionate about, and I know is going to go a long way. Just looking, for people who are, if you're interested, in learning more, definitely reach out to him. I'm sure you're going to have your information
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
description.
So this podcast is going to be a weekly podcast.
Hmm.
I hope you get value from it.
Right.
If you're looking to take the first step to finding a career that aligns with your purpose, the link for the Know Your Strengths experience is
Hmm.
in the description. We'll be running this monthly. It'll be a live coaching experience. How to find your strengths will I'll break down with you, right?
Right.
In a group coaching setting, how to find those things. Spots are limited monthly. So the link is in the description.
Hmm.
And if not, then tune into the weekly episode of Purpose Talk, where we help you be who you're supposed to be and do the work that you're meant to do. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Peace.